Yes. Welcome back to Cars of Sweden Live, and we are live in my kitchen today because I've got a nice little box there. I'm going to show you guys what that box is all about, because today we are back working on the BMW X6 F16. I've seen a few videos on YouTube talking about how you can update your BMW X6. If, for instance, you have a 2015 model like I do, it doesn't come with CarPlay or Android Auto. Now, I have an Android phone, so I was interested in getting one of these like Bimatech MMI boxes. You know me? I'm always looking for a cheaper alternative. Those boxes are pretty expensive. So I went on to Alibaba and I thought, let me see if I can find something that could do reasonable the same job for less than half the price. And I found it. So we're going to take a look at it now. So if we look inside this box, we have the unit itself. Right, now if you look at the MMI box, they all look very similar. Gives you the ability to have Android Auto and CarPlay in your car by just kind of switching out a few things. So what we're going to do is connect that to the car. It comes with its own harness, and this harness replaces the OEM harness that goes to the back of the unit in the car. Well, this is like for a USB cable. This is for a back camera and all that sort of stuff, but we've already got all of that stuff installed in the Beamer. This is like a GPS antenna, so that's what's going to connect to your phone so that Android Auto and CarPlay work. And this is going to replace the cable that runs up to your screen in your car. But they're all the bits and pieces that I'm going to need to get the job done. Bought some tape, that kind of soft tape. Yeah, I got that from Timo, I think. A little ratchet set. You know, I haven't used this yet, so I'm going to test this one out. I do have other ratchet sets in the garage downstairs, but I'm going to test this nice little one up because it's nice and small and it should get the job done. I think you're going to need a T20. So I got this little thing that came with them ratchets. So there's a T20 there, so that should do that job. The MMI boxes, I think there's one called Prime, comes with a HDMI port. And check this baby out. Look, this one came with a HDMI port as well. So what I've done is I've bought, if I can find it, this little bracket here so that, you know, it doesn't put much stress on it. So I'm gonna put this angle bracket in there, and then I've also bought this as well, and this is just like a little extension so I can hopefully run that. I mean, hopefully that's going to be long enough. I'm going to try and run that from the back of there and then have it sort of easy access. So if I ever need to plug anything into my screen, which is HDMI, then it's possible. So I'm reckoning that's all I need. Last but not least, you're going to need yourself some pry tools. And I got this pry tool set from Timo. Yeah, and this one comes with all the bits and pieces you could possibly need. That was really cheap on Timo as well. So they're all the bits I reckon I need. Let's get downstairs into the car and let's start fiddling about and see if we can get something done. Okay, so here I am in the car now, and the first part of the installation is to get the trim off, right? So the first bit of trim is going to be this bit here, and I believe that you can kind of get your angle the camera so you can see what I'm doing. I read you can just sort of get your hand behind this and just kind of start it off by pulling it away here gently. Yeah, I can feel it coming away there, and then carefully use the pry tool to pry the rest of that away, all the way along. Yeah, all the way along to here. Get the pry tool in between there, pry all the way there, get this away, and then we're going to have to disconnect the plugs from there and from behind the start stop button. There's also a bit here that just pulls off as well, so maybe I'll start with that bit there. But anyway, I'm going to put the camera there and see if you can pick that up while I'm doing that. The first bit you've got to pry off is this bit here, and if you can see there, it's got like a clip that clips in there at that side there. Let's try and go back a little bit so we've got a bit more room. But yeah, it's a little clip there, so I'm guessing it's going to have the same kind of clip this side here. So we're just going to unclip them and pull this whole piece out. If you look at the joints here, they've got these little clips that are sort of pull in and out, and they sort of go in there, and you know, there's standard clips. But at the top there, you can see the one that should be there has remained there in there. On this side, you can see that the clip has come out. So that bit went a lot easier. So basically what I'm going to do now is unclip the stop button. Right, if I look there, there's a little clip there, and I can get to that one here from here. And what button is that? That is, I guess that is, I'm not sure what that is actually, but basically I'm going to unclip that white one first, then I'm going to unclip them, and then I'm going to unclip the stop button, and then this panel here should be able to pull away. So now I've disconnected everything. Yeah, as you can see, that's the start, where the start button was. This little white one here, if you look at it here, it's got like a little hole there. So what I did was I got this pick tool and I pushed it in there, and then, oh, let's focus again, and it allowed me just to pull those two apart, pushing this button all the way through the hole and then disconnected it from the back. So yeah, so that's all you need to do for the first bit, just to get this panel off. So what I'm going to do is throw that panel in the back now and start working underneath. So the next step is to undo that screw there and that screw there, and then what I've got to do is try and get this panel off under there. You can see I put a cloth here as well, because once we pull out the stereo, you want to protect your dash from any scratches from the metal. So I'm going to get T20 for there, T20 for there, undo them, and then start working our way down and try and pulling this climate control unit out, and then we can get to the actual stereo behind there. This panel's got to come out as well. I've heard that's pretty, it's 2 clips, one on each side, but it's really difficult to get it off, I've heard. So we'll start working on that in a bit. Okay, there's both of those screws out. So while I'm here, I'm going to tackle the screws to get the screen out as well. So that's one T20 there and a T20 there as well. So, all right. So yeah, let's get that done. I must say, I'm really pleased with these tools from Timo. A bit of a Timo freak here. I just buy loads of stuff from Timo, but you know, they're small, handy. They come in real handy in certain jobs like this. For instance, you know, you can get like one of these little magnetized plates. I like to use these, and it keeps all your screws in order, so you know they just stick on there so you don't lose them. I find that really handy. Plus another little tool I got is tiny little extended magnet, so you know, once you're getting into place like that, you can just get them on the screw so you don't drop them into your car anywhere. Really handy. Timo, get onto Timo if you ain't there. Honest. Now, I've got to be honest, this is the bit that I was dreading, because like I see so many people having problems getting this little bit off, and it's just like 2 clips, 1 clip there and 1 clip there, but you know, it's so tight in there that it feels like you're going to break it all the time. So what I'm going to do is start shoving down loads of pry tools until I get it sort of levered at both sides, and then I'm going to just try and gently take one side off and then go for the other side. So yeah, it's going to be awkward filming this, so wish me luck, basically, and I'll show you what it looks like when I got it off. Right, so that was a bit fiddly, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually. And you can see now, it's just been held in by, like, these 2 are kind of levered in that hole down there, and then these 2 just kind of push in there. You see they're kind of spring connections there, so it kind of goes in the hole and springs itself shut, and then you just got to try and lever that out of the way. But anyway, there it is. That's out. That's the bit I was dreading. Let's hope that's the hardest bit. But anyway, I'm going to put that in the back, and then we'll continue getting the fascia out for the climate. Right, so once you got the under tray out, you just kind of pull that out, yeah, gently. You know, you don't want to, you know, break any cables or anything like that. And then we're going to turn that all the way around, and we're going to unplug these joints. If you've got a BMW, they've been using these things for years. You kind of push down there and then lever that down. Yeah, so, I know it's very difficult to do that one-handed, but you kind of push that down there, the bit on the top, and that lever sort of, yeah, I've got it there, comes down, and as it comes down, it pushes the plug out, and then that's it, it's off. So yeah, that's pretty simple. And you can see it's color coded as well. So you basically can't really go wrong when it comes to putting these things back as well. So push that down, and then you got a lever there, pull a lever, that comes off, and then that is that unit out the way. So now we got access to the stereo, and I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to pull that bad boy out, and then yeah, we'll start getting our box connected. So that has been unscrewed as well now. So yep, so that pops up. So that's waiting to be done. But we'll leave that there for now. Let's undo those 4. You don't have to watch me doing that. Basically, I'm just going to unscrew them 4, and then yeah, I'll get back to you when I've done that. Okay, so now I've got all of the screws out. What I'm going to do is pull this out and then spin it around. Let's just try and get a little bit of slack here. It's really tight in there. And spin it around if I can, just about. And then I'm going to try and get the main plug out the back. Now it's going to be really difficult for you guys to see that, but basically it's the equivalent harness to that's in the back of the unit already. So I've got to release that by pushing the sides like this, pulling down this lever, and then it should come out, even though this one's all locked up. And then I'm gonna, yeah, replace it with this harness, and then plug the original back in there, and then we get the box out and then start moving forward from there. Right, so I'm going to try and do that. I won't be able to do it on camera because there's no way I can get the camera back there. It's really tight there, but I'll try and show you in a bit. Right, as you can see, there's the plug that I need to unplug. So it's exactly the same as the other one. It's got a lever there, so you've got to squeeze that lever, pull the lever down. As you pull the lever down, it kind of eases the plug out of the back of the unit as well. I don't know why this is so tight, you know, it's like, I don't know if it's snagging against something here, but this feels really tight. All the other times I've seen people do this, they seem to have a lot more room than what I've got now. But anyway, can't stop now, so let's get it done. Now I've unplugged it from the back of the unit. The next move I've got to do is take this fiber optic cable here, this cable and that one there, they're in a plug. So what I've got to do is unplug them and then plug them into the new side, the new harness. So, but you know, I'm going to have no slack for that. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to try and peel back this taping here. And once I've pulled back the taping, I'll take that out and then throw it in the new one. And hopefully I'll get a little bit more room. There is no room here whatsoever. It's going to be a really tight fit. I have no idea where I'm going to put that unit. You know, I know some people put it right the way back, but it's going to be a bit bulky in there. So, yeah, so the first thing is to remove this fiber cable. And if you look at the top of it there, it's got a little clip there. You see there. So what you got to do is just lift that up, and then these 2 cables will slide out. And you just got to make sure you put them back in the exact same place where you slide them out. Yeah, in the new unit. So, yeah, first I'm going to take some of this taping off at the back there, and then I'm going to pull that out. Right, so hopefully I've peeled back this cable long enough. I'm not sure I have. If I haven't, I'm gonna just do a bit more. I basically just cut it away with a small pair of scissors. You've got to be really careful that obviously that you don't cut into any cable in there. So yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this optical cable. So if your car has got this black and green cable, they're together, what you've got to do is release that, and then once you've released it, you'll put it in the same place on the new harness, which will go, it can only go really one way, which it will go in that on the outside there. And you can see it will clip in there as well. So you just unclip it from there and then just clip it in there, and then we plug that into the new head unit, and then we plug the other end of that. The other end with that in there will go in there. Right, so now I've taken out the optical cable, put it in the new harness, and locked it into place. It can only really go one way because you won't be able to lock it. That was a pain in the arse. So what I did was, as you can see, I've changed over the optical cable into the new side of the harness. I've connected the OEM cable into the other end of the harness, so now I have this. So now it's just a case of connecting it up to the box. Hopefully that's all right, because Yeah, I don't know if you get more room than what I've got here, because I've got absolutely zero space to work here. There's cabling that's holding this thing here, so I'm not sure if you're going to have more luck than me. I've seen it, other people do this and they've had more room, but I've got zero room. I managed to get everything in, hopefully in the right way. So now I'm going to get the box out and start connecting the box up, and then running the cable to the screen and running the cable from the screen down into the box as well. So that's the next step. Okay, so if you look at everything here, everything's pretty straightforward when it comes to connecting it up to the box. One thing you really need to do though before you get started here is you need to look at your whatever car you've got, and it will tell you how many pins that you need to pull down here. My car, you need to pull down 3 pins because it's got the 8.5 inch screen, or maybe the 12 inch. I'm not sure which one it is. Probably 12. Yeah, so I think if you got the 6.5, you're going to have 2 pins down. If you got the 8.5 or higher, it's going to be 3 pins. It could be something different, but that's all I know. You need to find out what your vehicle needs. The rest of it is just straightforward. It's like this cable is what comes from with the unit. This is what's going to go up to the screen, and at the moment the screen has got a pink connector in there. I'm going to disconnect that and then run that down all the way down there, and that pink connector will go in there. The blue connector, what I've got here, will go in there, and you use the straight part of it to go in there. The bent part needs to go into, that part needs to go into the screen, right? And then, yeah, the harness that we've just connected to the back of that goes into there. It can only go in there where it says CAN power. And then you've got another cable, which is for the USB, that goes in where it says camera. Obviously, we're just using the USB there. I've decided now that I'm not going to plug in the HDMI cable, because let's face it, I'm never going to use that. I just don't think I'm going to have enough room back there. I'm going to be fighting with room anyway just to get this in. And then of course you have the GPS that just plugs straight in onto where it says antenna with that blue plug there. So that's just plug and play. So now what I've done is I've run the original OEM monitor cable down here to the screen, and then I've run the other cable, the new cable, up there. So what I'm going to do is plug that back into the back of that screen. Screw the screen back, and that part is done. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to worry about plugging everything back in the MMI box. Okay. Oh, look how dirty that is. Loads of fingerprints. Anyway, the screen is back up. All right, I've plugged in the cable, which is the other end is here. There's the cable that came out of the original screen. That's there. This is for the USB power. Just a USB cable at the end of that. This is the GPS, and this is the cam, which is the original power from the old unit. So now this bit is the bit that I'm not looking forward to. Now I've got to try and tuck all of this stuff back under there and try and make some room so it all goes back nicely and nothing pulls out. I forgot the GPS cable. I've run the cable behind this beam here and just sat the GPS there for now. And I've got loads of slack so that, you know, I don't pull it out of the way. I'm going to stick it to there because you can't stick it to anything metal. Right, so I've managed to get the unit back in now. That was very fiddly, and I have no idea whether or not I've pulled out any cables from the back of anything. What I did was I moved the MMI box as far to the left. There's a little pocket here, so pushed half of it in there. I run the USB cable here. So I just got it sticking out there a little bit. I'm just going to leave that there just in case I need to access that for any reason. I've still got my GPS here. I'm going to stick that down there on that plastic bit there, so with the GPS. And now I'm just going to button everything back up and hope for the best. Right, as you can see, everything is buttoned up again. So that shroud is back on. Screen is dirty as hell, but I'm going to clean it up later. The only thing that's not back on is that little plastic sheet that goes along here, and you can see the USB there, because I'm thinking that maybe if the MMI box needs to be upgraded or anything, you need to access it, and I think that's how you do it with that USB. So next time, instead of taking all this off, all I need to do is take that little plastic cover that's there. Right, so let's start this car up. Right, I just want to check that, make sure that everything is working as it should. So if I go to my, yep, that's working. Let's check out the radio. Radio's working. Right, so let's just check some of these buttons as well. Back camera. Yeah, see, everything seems to be working as it normally works in my car. But then it says if you push down on the menu button for 2 seconds, I'm going to push it now. Yes, you should get to this menu, and this is the menu from the MMI box. So that's great. So all I need to do now is to try and work out how to connect my phone to Android Android Auto. I think CarPlay, yeah, it's CarPlay. So this must be Android AirPlay or Android Auto AirPlay. So what I'm going to do now is, yeah, try to work out how to get my phone connected to that. I think maybe I need to disconnect it from the car first though. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll try to connect it, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll disconnect it from the car and then try again. Okay, so now it's another day, and I didn't want to do the video straight away after doing the install because I figured I was going to test this thing out for a few days, and I have tested it out, and I'm very, very, very pleased with it. Seriously, I mean, I had no idea because, you know, before I did this, I didn't even realize I needed Android Auto CarPlay type thing, but now I've got it. It's just fantastic, and I had no idea some of the features you can do with it. It runs seamlessly. If I want to go back to the original menu, like I said, just hold menu down for 2 seconds and it'll go back. Hold it down again and it'll flip back to your what you got, Android Auto. Yeah, you just scroll through the menus using the BMW scroller here, and when you find something you want, you just click on it. This is tuning radio. If you guys know that, you can get pretty much any channel in the world using this app, which is great. But anyway, mega happy with it. Another feature, do you know what? I never even realized I wanted Android Auto, and now I've got it. It's like, it just surprises me. I mean, the other day I was driving around, someone sent me a message. The message came up on the screen, and it gave me the ability to hear the message. So I clicked on a little hear message, and it read the message out to me, and then it gave me options of how I would want to answer this message, which is fantastic because you don't need to be typing. It gives you, good options because it's obviously AI intelligence. So it's read the message and it's come up with suitable answers for that, and that was just brilliant. Everything works as it should. Maps, you can use Google. Hey Google, I shouldn't say that, should I? You can use Google Assist to say the address, and you'll get navigated straight to that address. It's absolutely fantastic. What else can I say? Yeah, and also, if you see the screen flickering on the screen, it's not the screen. It's just basically the refresh rate where I'm filming from my phone. But yeah, the thing I wanted to discuss with you guys though mostly was I bought the cheapest kind of version on AliExpress, I think it was, just to see if it would work. And that's the reason why I left the video a few days. The build quality is exactly the same as all the others. It's not plastic or anything like that. And I've had Android units in my old cars before. When I had an E90, I put an Android face unit in there, and those things with a touchscreen and that, and those things can be a little bit temperamental every now and then. Not a lot, but every now and then you might come into little issues where it freezes up and stuff. But the thing with the MMI box, and this is the reason why I went for that, is because it doesn't have that sort of touchscreen technology that could go wrong. It's just a box with just components in it basically, and it's the same components that all the other high-end ones, high-priced ones have. So I'm not convinced that if you buy it from a company that call themselves Max Auto or something like that, that they're actually giving you better quality. I think that because the software seems to be all the same to me, and it works perfectly. I mean, this thing is like I said, it's not an upgrade that I was thinking, yeah, I definitely have to have that. But now I have it, it's just fantastic, and the possibilities are endless with it. I mean, for instance, this thing's got Wi-Fi, and I'm not going to use it because I just don't spend that much time in my car. But I could hook up like a Fire Stick or something to this and have like live TV on the go. I don't need that. Like I said, I don't spend that much time in the car, so there's no point in me doing that. And everything's wireless. Another thing is as well, when it comes to these units, is that a lot of the time, and I can show you this actually, if I go back to the menu, yeah, a lot of the times they'll have you hook this thing up to the aux so that you can hear sound. But with these new, the one I've got now is a new one. It goes through your Bluetooth. As you can see, my aux is not even connected here. Everything's going through the Bluetooth, so it's exactly the same as it would be if you hooked up anything to your car in the first place, and the sound quality is a lot better. So you're actually getting like, yeah, you're getting Bluetooth quality sound instead of it going through aux and it's cutting down on the sound a bit more. That's another extra with this box. So it's up to you. I paid roughly around it'd be around £120 for this unit, which was 1,600 kroner, which is around what's that, $160, maybe $150, something like that for this. And some of these things are priced like, £500, £600, £700, and I just can't see any sense in paying that kind of money. So here's a test. I'm going to try and find a link which I use to buy mine. Like I said, I'm not affiliated to anything. I'm just recommending you it because it works well for me for the first 5 days anyway. I've had no issues whatsoever with it. I just wanted to give you guys an update on how this MMI box is working in the car. I've got to say, man, I'm really pleased with the quality of this thing. Android Auto, I had no idea it was as good as what it is. I can get messages direct to the screen, and it gives you options to how you want to answer those messages. You can record a message and it's going to send it directly to that person, and you can get the Android Auto to actually read out the messages. I had no idea. Listen, most of you guys probably know this. This is old news to you, but it's kind of new news to me. But the video isn't about that, actually. It's about how well the box works. And I can say, like, I'm not sure how many months I've had this in now, but you'll see by the date of this little clip of the video. And all I can say is well worth the money. I've had no issues with this box since I put it in. It works just as it should. Every time I start the car up, it finds Android Auto, boots up, starts playing the track. That's why I've got it set up. Right now, you can't hear it because obviously I don't want to get copyrighted for tracks playing at the background. The switch is on my dial as well. It still works now. That works with Google Maps, and it works with Waze. I've got Waze running right now, and you can just switch between the two if you want. Yeah, everything works, man. I'm really pleased with it. So it's up to you guys, man. You can go out there and spend 4 times the money on one of these boxes by some of the well-known brands, or you can go to the cheaper places, get it for a fraction of the price, and basically it's the same thing. It's very simple technology in that box. If it had screens and stuff like that, maybe you should, try and get a good quality thing. But this is just a box with a circuit board in, and it works well. I'm really happy with it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the video there. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll see you all again soon for some more Cars of Sweden Live.